All right, good morning, West USA Realty. My name is Keith Flynn. I'm the Director of Digital Marketing here at West USA and Corporate Trainer. Excited to have you guys on. Sorry, we were just getting ourselves cranking this morning. Happy Thursday. Really excited to have you guys here. We're going to be talking about smart video with your smartphone. Um, Even though we're going to cover some gear and some things you could be doing to use or increase the quality of your video, at the end of the day, you guys have what you already need in your pocket, in your purse, in your backpack, wherever you decide to keep it. We're going to talk about obviously using your smartphone to shoot great video concept ideas, things that are going to help you with creating high value content and really take your visibility and marketing to the next level. Like all of our webinars, they are recorded. So if you're not able to stick around for the whole time, which is roughly an hour, I've got about 22 slides for you. We can fly through those. By all means, be sure to visit our YouTube channel where we have not only my webinars, but all webinars that we have here at West USA Realty. We've got everything from CE classes, educational events, CRM training, you name it, a number of different resources for you to use for you and in your marketing needs. And so you can go to West USA on YouTube, find our channel, and we have all of our past recordings there for you. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, compliments, feel free to email me. I'm Keith, Keith, at westusa.com after today's webinar, during the webinar, any afterthoughts. We are in a live environment, so yes, the time is 10:03. And if you do have a quick question or two or a comment, feel free to jump in the chat box there, right to your right. On your right-hand side, there's a chat box there. You can ask your question. Get a lot of questions through the course of the webinar. Some I don't answer. I may jump on and answer those offline for you, or at least after the webinar. But we'll get rocking and rolling here. And let me hit. Boy, I hope that music wasn't playing. So I just noticed the first slide usually has our music tied to it. And I've been known to talk over the music. So no one has said that they can't hear me. So we're going to rock and roll here. So what we're going to cover today, I've got some statistics for you on video, how it's impactful. That's statistics that are provided by anything from Facebook, Instagram, a lot of data mining websites out there who look at video play and how they are beneficial for employers and companies. What a video business card is, basically your 30-second elevator speech, and why you should have one. What it includes, like what you should actually put in your video if you haven't already done so, or maybe you want to update one. You definitely, our look changes, our appearance changes, our values, our mission statement, our marketing overall changes year by year. And so it's always good to update and refresh your video card business or your video card business card. The how to create one, some tools and gear that you can use to create awesome video, and then where should we post our videos, and then I've got some apps for you that you can either use to edit your video in your cell phone, your smartphone, which is really cool. It's just so intuitive now. There's so many cool tools out there. Some are free, some have a minimal cost associated. I've ran through a lot of them, see what's new, what's the shiny new toy out there that everyone's using, and then of course give you some feedback and help you navigate. But bottom line is, if you have a smartphone, you can create a video. All right, so video marketing volume statistics. When I say volume for statistics, there are a number of choices when it comes to the platforms that people use in order to post their video. Number one is definitely Facebook. Still the most visited social media platform out there, over 2.5 billion active users on there in the US. I think daily they're logging on. There's over 1 billion, 2.5, 1.25 billion that are actually logging on a daily basis. And just 5 short years ago, Mark Zuckerberg predicted that, well, it's been 6 years now, that over the majority of the content that's on Facebook will be videos. And if you haven't been on Facebook lately, you can tell you right now, there's a lot of videos on there. And especially during this amazing political election year, tons of video to, distract you throughout the day. 45% of people who watch a video are watching more than an hour on Facebook or YouTube each week. That's a lot of stats. I mean, that's a lot of people who are consuming content. And as you know, millennials, more now than ever, are disconnecting from traditional cable TV. They don't want to watch commercials. And we're just really now in a climate, a world of streaming content. I know I've had this conversation with my son before in the past, and he still kind of chuckles when I tell him that, yeah, we used to go to the grocery store and buy a book called a TV guide, and we waited till the following week for the TV to tell us what was going to be on. They're so used to an on-demand culture now that he was just laughing at the fact that, yeah, there was a day when we actually had to wait around to find out what show was going to be on, and then we had to wait for that show. So now you can just dial it up and put it on right away. 80% of online marketers use video content. When we say online marketers, that's you. That's you, a small business owner. That's us as a brokerage. That's Walmart. That's Target. That's service providers. Anybody who's in business, 87% of those online marketers are using video in their content. And the reason why is because such a large amount of video in general is just retained. People retain the message they see on a video. 25 to 34, certainly a little bit higher now since I wrote this stat a few years back, are the largest group that are watching videos online. As I mentioned, millennials, number one and the largest first-time home buyer. They consume content much more different than a lot of us, a lot of Gen X and boomers. They have the phone and have grown up with the phone in their hand and are used to watching videos and consuming content and learning about products and services. Over half of the video content is viewed on a mobile device. As I mentioned, if we all have small, smart little computers in our hands now. And so if you're not pushing content onto that device, you're not in business. And that goes for anybody in business. That's just kind of the way it is now. 92% of mobile video viewers share video with others. And this is true. Whether it's a recipe, a funny video, prank, someone fell, something that gives us a little chuckle in our day as we're scrolling through our social media, cat videos, informational, new product or services, video that is good, that we find entertaining, is very shareable. And these social media platforms have made it very easy for you to share. And so putting out content that's going to provide an education and educate your audience, going to provide high value around a neighborhood, whatever you're putting out as an agent that will educate your audience on the home buying and selling process. I may not have a need for it right now, but I know someone who will or may. And so whether being in the industry, I know real estate agents and I see something that an agent is doing really well, and I know someone could benefit from that video, so I'm going to share it. So definitely creating video that's shareable is going to benefit you and be advantageous as a real estate agent. Native video that lives on Facebook is 10 times higher, has a 10 times higher chance of being reached to reach more people compared to YouTube links. And so if you are someone who's been on YouTube, you see a funny video, you grab a link and you drop it onto your Facebook page, and then that video pops in, and then obviously whatever the context is or whatever the content is that you're sharing, Facebook will obviously let you post that, but they would rather you upload your video directly to and have it live on Facebook in their archive and attached to your business page, as opposed to you just simply showing or sharing a link from YouTube. And the goal and the reason behind that is because Facebook doesn't really want their audience to leave the platform to go watch that video. So they're going to reward you as a business owner. If you have video that lives natively on Facebook, you're going to be rewarded because Facebook's going to actually share, their algorithm is going to share that organically and cast that out to more of your audience. So you stand a much better chance of growing your database and your audience by having your videos live on Facebook first and foremost. But here's the thing. Be sure to still go and create yourself a YouTube channel, because YouTube does index. And so if anyone's doing a search through Google, because as you know, Google owns YouTube, and YouTube is the second most largest search engine. So definitely a good play to have your video live on both platforms. And lastly, our viewers retain, as I mentioned, 95% more of the message when they watch it in form of a video compared to just text messages or text. So if you're not going to do a video, at least have an image, whether it's stock image, a photo you took, whatever that image is, it has to be relevant to what you're talking about. And so make sure that you at least have a image, if not a video, attached to all your posts. So moving on, number one here, we're going to talk about a video business card. So when you're creating your video business card, and the reason why one would want to create a business card is because it allows for you to introduce yourself. Now that video will live wherever you, hopefully wherever I told you to put it, is Facebook and YouTube. But when people are looking for you and they're looking to learn more about you as an agent to see, do you have social proof? Are you someone who says you're an agent, or obviously you are an agent, but you say you are a knowledgeable agent, one who has experience, they're going to take to social media to do their homework and learn more about you as an agent. And so if you have an active presence, a video that shows and showcases who you are and does an introduction, they're learning about you while you're doing your other real estate needs throughout the day, while you're out working, while you're out canvassing, calling on leads, sleeping, whatever the case may be. Your video is always accessible and gives people an opportunity to learn and you introduce yourself to them at scale. So it's a great way to gain trust, and obviously with your potential clients. And the first and most importantly is it's a way for them to learn about who you are, what you do, where you do it, why they should hire you. What is your differentiating factor? What is your wow factor, right? Why are you going to be the real estate agent of choice? And then how can they get in touch with you? How can they find out more about you, reach out to you, whether it's through email, phone number, website? In your video, at the end, you should have a call to action. Love to work with you if you're looking if you're someone who's looking to move into or a particular neighborhood of the state. Feel free to call me. My phone number is, or you can reach me at, and make sure you have your contact information in there. Most importantly, too, people can determine if you're likable. I know when I watch video and I see someone who's doing something, if they're funny, engaging, they've got great content, they mix it up. It's not always the same boring stuff. Then that's that they're relatable and likable, and so that's someone that I would want to work with or associate myself with. So, what all goes into a video? What should my video include when it comes time to record it? Who you are, obviously, easy. Number one, introduce yourself. My name is Keith Flynn. I'm the director of digital marketing at West USA Realty. Been here for over 5 years now. Very versed and knowledge in online advertising as well as traditional. Been in advertising for over 15 years, and I'm someone who I feel could be a benefit to you in your business or whatever the case may be. And move on to your next one is, what is your area of expertise, right? Whether you as an agent are familiar with new builds or previously owned homes, flips, investors, distressed sellers, whatever that is to you, whatever niche you find that you want to be in, make sure you include that into your video introduction. Where are you located? Even though I'm a licensed real estate agent in the state of Arizona, I'm able to help you with any of your purchases in the state. But my area of focus is in North Valley. I'm an expert in Glendale. As a resident in central to northern Phoenix since 1981, I'm very familiar with not only awesome opportunities and general the vicinity of the area, but I can give you a lot of information especially if you're someone who's moving here for the first time. So again, whatever that looks like, it's going to be different for all of us since we all have a different area of focus and our geographical reach. Why should someone choose you? As we mentioned earlier, your differentiating factor. What is your wow? Why is it that you are in a real estate agent in the industry, and what is it about you that's going to benefit your potential buyer or seller over someone else who may be doing the same thing? And there's no better way to convey that than to use testimonials from your past clients. Now, you may not get everybody who wants to jump on this camera, grab their cell phone and shoot you a little 30-second testimonial, but one of the cool things you can do, you can still add your testimonials if they're in written form, whether you do a screenshot of a testimonial from a client that maybe stopped on realtor.com or Zillow.com or on your Google business account, wherever your testimonial lives, whether it's in written form or you have the luxury of having someone do a video for you, you can take screenshots and then use that in somewhat of a slideshow. And so, again, when you're doing a video introduction, there's some simple tools out there that will help you edit your video, and you can pan away. So you're not always just a talking head. You can cut away your audio. Your voice is still there. There's still a voice bed, but then they can see and read the testimonials as in a slideshow format, Or I've seen a lot of agents say, I'm not comfortable talking about myself, but how about we hear from some of my past clients who've taken the time to share what was great about working with me, and then you cut to that video. So really cool, simple way of doing it. And people love to hear reviews from other people peer to peer. How can they reach you? At the end, as I mentioned, at the end of your video, share your website. Use a simple overlay technique to add in your phone number, email address. Of course, when you post your video, you can also support that with the text above the video as well on your social media posts. Bonus item for you. Share a success story. If you don't have a lot in the way of years in the biz, there's no need for you can either be honest and just say, hey, I'm a new licensee. I've been doing this a year and I've only had 2 deals, but that's probably not going to get you any more deals. So, it feels like a lifetime, but you know what? Here's a success story from a most recent client of mine. You don't need to allude to or, tip your hat to the fact that you don't have a ton of them, but use a success story, before and after photos. Maybe a client of yours had a previous agent and the house out on the market, but it wasn't until you provided your feedback, your expertise with the client, that they were able to, deneutralize the home, declutter the home, and then after following your expert advice, the home received multiple offers after only being on the market for a week. Whatever that success story is that you may have, get it out of the archive and share it, because when it comes to your frequently asked most questions from your clients, those are all awesome topics and answers that you can get on film, get on camera, and then again, those will be in your back pocket as a weapon, a tool belt for you to use for when it comes to encouraging others to use you as an agent. So, how to create your video? A lot of different ways you can do this. I like to ad lib pretty well. I kind of have a general idea of what I want to say, and so I'm pretty. I've been given the gift of gab, and so I've never had a problem ad libbing. But for a lot of folks, I recommend bullet pointing out your who, what, when, and where, and why. Bullet point that out. Now, if you're a good reader, you can use a loose script or a script and commit that to memory so that it sounds natural and it doesn't come off as being, my name is Keith Flynn and I am a real estate agent here at West USA. We want it to sound natural, almost like having a conversation. If I ran into you in the elevator and you're like, hey, haven't seen you in a while. What have you been up to? Hey, funny you should ask. I've actually became a real estate agent with West USA Realty. Been doing it about 5 years now. Focused primarily in the North Valley, but I'm able to help you with any needs you have in the entire state. Your elevator speech, how you pitch it to your friends, family, colleagues, is exactly what you want to get onto your video. So write those bullet points down, get those committed to memory if maybe this is a first time for you, but stay away from a script because you want to come off as being very genuine and authentic and relaxed. And it's always good to have a lot of energy on your video. It may feel silly to you to be so animated and kind of over the top, like you're overacting, but it does translate pretty well as someone having great energy on camera. And of course, try not to be like that freaky guy on the right. So it's good to have energy, just don't be weird, right? All right, so make a shot list. Number 2, when it comes to creating your video, what goes into your video, create a shot list. If you're going to do this on location, obviously choose a beautiful home. Little tip here, some agents have shared with me over the years is pretty cool, is they'll actually go in to a new build, a model home, kind of on the off hours. Obviously, full disclosure, introduce yourself to the agent on the property, and just roll in there. If you've got a backpack with a tripod, your camera on there, take a moment, set yourself up in that model home and shoot a quick little video. See if you can get in there and out real quick, and use the model home since they're so beautifully staged, and do a quick 30-second little interview or a little announcement, introduction of yourself for your video. If you have access to a home, maybe you've got a home that's beautifully staged and you're going to be doing an open house. Then get into that home and take a look and see, okay, there's some exterior shots that are beautiful that I'd love to have in my introduction video, some interior shots, beautiful backyard, maybe it's a newly remodeled kitchen. You are going to be in the home for a minute or two, or, I use that loosely, meaning an hour or two. Take advantage of the setup, use it, showcase it. Like, this is the caliber of home that I am used to selling as an agent, and use that backdrop as a way to establish, someone who's an expert and used to working with clientele in that realm. And then, of course, if you want to do multiple shots, maybe move through the house. A quick tip for you guys as well: treat it like a video, like a music video. A lot of artists will shoot the same song four times throughout different locations. If a music video, you'll see, if you watch one recently, I know MTV doesn't really show them anymore, but they'll shoot the entire video in 3 different scenes, and then they'll splice it together. So same outfit, but you're just moving yourself throughout the home. So if you have that luxury, take advantage of it. It's a really cool tool for you to do. When it comes to making your shots, when it comes to shooting your video, a couple tips here from some videographer friends of mine. Highly recommend, not putting yourself up against a blank wall, or having. You want to create some depth. You want to create distance between you and anything behind you. If you notice there on your screen, the girl in the center, great shot. She's in frame, but there's a lot of distance behind her, and so the eye is naturally drawn to the subject in the video. Whereas the gentleman on the right and the bottom there, looking snazzy, nice tie, but he's kind of using this as a bland backdrop, a wall. And so if you've got a beautiful home, you're going to shoot your introduction video in, create some depth, and you let the eye naturally focus to the center. Another great tip for you guys is the rule of thirds. On your smartphone, on your device, if you go into the settings, and I know this is different for everybody, so kind of navigating you through. I'm going to go ahead and use an iPhone in this example, since I've never owned an Android. So if you go into your settings for your camera, the settings, and then choose your camera on the in the settings tab there, you can actually turn on and off the grid. There is a setting called grid, and if it's toggled on, then you'll get these thirds. You've got 3 rows and then 3 columns. Use that grid much like a professional videographer would. And if you're going to be doing an interview, or even if you're just yourself on camera, do the bottom one. If you guys recognize Jim from The Office there, a lot of the times when they would do these interviews, they shoot with the rule of thirds. So it's almost lining up one of those crosshairs over your T-zone, or the center between your eyes and your forehead. That is a great tool to use, especially if you plan on using overlays, because then you can put your overlays just to the right or just off to the center there of yourself. And if you have a call to action, or maybe you're doing a little bit of a slideshow, or popping on a photo of a home that you have listed, you can use that area to your advantage. And it's just a better way of shooting your video. So not a huge deal, but just a quick tip for you there. Try not to be so center, just be a little bit off center there. And of course, if you're interviewing somebody, then you guys will split the screen together. All right, so gear. I get a lot of question about this. Paul, funny. Paul says he never heard of MTV. What is it? Right? Exactly. Yeah. It's certainly not music television anymore. It's just reality TV. It should be RTV. When it comes to gear, there's a lot you can purchase, and I don't want a cost associated with a lot of the gear to ever hinder you from shooting video. If you can find some natural lighting, if the home is powered and there's lighting, fantastic. If the power's off in the home and you're doing an open house, or you want to shoot a video, there are some battery operated lights that you can purchase. And then, you could use natural lighting from the home, open up the blinds and do that. But lighting is probably one of the most important things when it comes to shooting video. Obviously, audio is important too, but there's nothing worse than when somebody is backlit and then they are almost like a silhouette, like they're in a witness protection program. That's not a video that anyone wants to watch. We want to see you. And especially if you're going to be showing a home, doing a walk and talk, lighting is important because we want to see what it is that you're narrating. So some suggestions for you there for gear. Certainly recommend a tripod. A lot of this, if not all of it, can be found on Amazon. And if you have an Amazon Prime account, awesome. Free shipping, 2-day delivery, 2 or 3, depending on what you're buying. But Amazon has fantastic reviews, and I have found them to have the best price point when it comes to any of this tech up here that I'm showing you. Certainly recommend getting a tripod if you're someone who's by yourself, or you don't have the luxury of having someone around to hold the camera for you. There are a number of tripods that are telescoping that can actually, open up to about 4 or 5 feet, have a little tripod feet at the bottom of it, and then you can set that up, step away from the camera, and shoot your videos. There are some countertop ones that are awesome. They are center top of the screen. Set that on the island, set that in the kitchen, set yourself up. But these all this little gear here is collapsible, and you can have a nice little gear bag that you carry with you. If you ever need to shoot something, you have access to it. Lights are important to have. Like I said, having great lighting. Amazon sells some ring lights that are super popular right now. 18-inch ring lights, cost effective. I mean, they're probably $60-ish. I have noticed one thing, caveat to this. In recent months, because of everything that's happening, a lot of people are using video to communicate. And so finding web cameras is tough right now. Finding tripod and lighting can be a challenge at times. It was a real big issue at the beginning of all this, because everyone was realizing that I need light, I need a camera, I need to communicate, I need to work from home, school. So I have seen inventory levels come back up again, but jumping on Amazon and finding something that's going to work best for you shouldn't be too difficult. I've seen ring lights that clip on to your cell phone. They're smaller ones, little, maybe like 4 or 5 inch in diameter, clips onto your phone, and then it gives you some additional lighting. So if you wanted to shoot video and you don't want to carry in a lot of stuff, works for you as well. Microphones, lavalier microphone. There are wireless ones that are a little expensive, but a nice 25-foot wired lavalier mic that will plug into the bottom of your device and then clip onto your lapel, your blouse, your shirt, wherever works best for you, really will help with the quality of your audio. And especially if you're shooting video in a backyard, or maybe it's a home that's right off of a fairway or in the street there, and you get a little of that road noise. My lavalier mic will cut out that ambient sound and give you a nice, clean, quality interview, good sound when you're actually speaking into the microphone itself. And then a stabilizer, gimbal stabilizer. In the bottom right-hand corner of your screen is a floating gimbal. A gimbal is a mechanical, motorized, short selfie stick that will balance out your camera as you move your hand, whether you turn pan left or right, up and down. The gimbal will counter and keep your camera nice and steady. You'll get that nice floating cinematic feel. So if you're doing a walk and talk through an open house, if you're live and you're showcasing a home, or maybe you're in a community and you're doing a quick community outreach segment on best splash pads to visit right now, if there are any of them open. I think there are some in communities, but you can walk and talk, and you're not going to have any shaking or any jarring motions in your hand. It really makes for a nice video, and they're relatively inexpensive. The one on the right, my wife just picked up for like $80 off of Amazon, and they're now actually using it for the foundation at the hospital in which she works, and they are doing live walk and talks for donors who, well, as you can imagine, the hospitals aren't allowing anybody in except for one parent and essential workers. And so a lot of donors want to see what's happening in the school, or I'm sorry, in the hospital. And so their staff will walk around, and we'll do a live walk and talk with them and showcase the hospital to their donors who are watching online. So great, awesome tool to use. Definitely recommend having that in your tool belt. And a lot of most of all of them actually allow you to have a tripod at the bottom of them as well. So you can set that down and use it like a traditional tripod. All right, so let's talk about editing your video, right? So we've got into what goes into your video, and then the content and how to set up and get yourself ready for the video. And then now we're going to talk about editing the video. Whether you're comfortable editing a video on your mobile device or on a laptop, desktop, there are a lot of free options out there for you. Whether you're using a PC or a Mac, it's going to be different from everybody. Do your homework. Definitely jump on and Google your best app for editing on a mobile device, best desktop editing software. I can tell you right off the bat, Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere are going to have a significant cost associated to them. And if you're not looking to pay a monthly fee to have access to those editing tools, There are a number of inexpensive, if not free or open sourced editing software. But, for you guys, you're not shooting, VW commercials and you're not making these large movies. You're just looking to edit or trim the beginning and the end of your video. Maybe you're looking to do or stitch together a simple slideshow of a home, and then do some simple overlays like putting your phone number, your name at the end, or a website. And those three elements are really, really are all you really need. And there are a number of apps that you can use. So this first one here, InShot, uh, it used to be free, or at least it's free to start. They have in-app purchases like every other app that has ever been made. Once you download it and it's like, that's great. And then you want to do something and they're like, hey, there's a cost associated with that. It's our pro level plan. So be mindful when you download your apps in your app store or in Google Play. They will tell you that there's in-app purchases. But this app is pretty cool, very popular right now. A lot of people still using this one. You can trim the video. You can cut sections out. Maybe you fumbled over a word or two, or stuttered, or said a lot like I do. Sorry to point that out. You're probably not going to hear that the rest of the show, much like the guy who points out the cricket in the corner at night, right? So you can split your videos, merge clips, adjust speed. And my favorite part, you can do a voiceover. So for you guys as agents, if you're going to do a slideshow of a home, you take all your photos that you've taken, or you hired a professional, and you take all your photos and do a slideshow, set a 3-second pan to the next photo. You can narrate and do a voiceover and use your voice to share with us, the viewer, the audience, what we're looking at. And this is an awesome opportunity for a lot of folks who have an apprehension of being on camera. I know a lot of folks just don't like being on camera in general. So you can still use video in your marketing efforts. Just use your voice and do a voiceover and let the home do all the selling for you. Filmagore is a cool app to use. Now, this is for PC and Android use. Filmagore is pretty popular. It's kind of an all-in-one professional tool, allows you to do transitions. You can do cropping. You can edit your video, adjust for like filter, color, lighting. Really intuitive to use. This one also allows you to clip and then review in real time your videos. You can import your social media website videos. So maybe you've shot a video in the past, or you have some photos you'd like to use from your social media. You can link those up with this app and they'll actually pull that in. So if maybe you're doing a recap of, homes that you've sold, or if someone's like, are you experienced with something over 750,000? In fact, you are. And here's one of your past sales where you were able to help if you're looking to bring in new business. They have templates. That's a real cool one on this one. They have templates and effects. So maybe you use a template as a baseline and you just fill in the elements, the home, and so on, and go from there. And then a bunch of other professional editing tools you can use as well. Spark's the last app I have for you as far as a recommendation. Spark's a pretty cool one. A little bit different the way the interface is. It's similar to like Vine or Instagram stories, Facebook stories. You hold down on the screen, and when you do, it starts to record. And it records in segments and color frames there, and it stitches them together. I like using this one. I have fun with this one. It's free still, and then I have some pro tools for it. But you can string together your videos, manipulate those, and move them around. They've got some really cool filters in there as well. You can add music to this, just like the other apps. Maybe you've got a nice, quiet, light soundtrack behind as you're narrating or sharing a home. You can do voiceovers as well with this one. And when you're done, you can share your videos on Instagram. So, which is really neat for those who actually, we have an Instagram class coming up, I believe, next week. So, awesome tool for you to use and use for your social media. And if you're just creating a post about like, hey, have you guys had dinner at this restaurant? What are your thoughts? Again, as an agent, you can use that as to create content for your social media. Uploading your video. All right, so the video is done. It looks great. We've showed it to some friends and family. We've gotten some feedback. We feel good about it. Where do you put it? Right? That's the big question. Where do I put my video? Well, as I mentioned before, Facebook's definitely gonna be number one. Highly recommend YouTube as your second to have a channel. Definitely have a channel set up on YouTube so that your video can live there as well. And then Vimeo is a cool one to use. A lot of professional videographers use Vimeo for their high res videos. If they've got a portfolio and they're looking to bring on clients. Vimeo is a pretty awesome tool to use as well, but Facebook's going to be number one since it is the most visited social media platform. And of course, taking a link, taking micro content from any of your videos, and then posting that out on the social media. If you upload a video to Facebook, jump onto your Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, wherever else you are, and prime your social media. Email your clients, let them know, like, I just did a video on curb appeal or increasing the value of your home by doing one thing. Maybe it's an interview with a contractor. We'll get into some video ideas here shortly. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But remember, most importantly, Facebook's going to be number one since it is 10 times higher reach compared to YouTube. So, essentials for video. I put together 5 essentials for you for video, some ideas you guys can implement, whether you do one or all of these each month. Try to at least put out a video a month, if not once a week, around a number of topics that are very relevant and have a great high value content element to them and are also educational. Number one, do a monthly interview with a team member, whether that's a reoccurring interview with a team member or a vendor partner, whether that is a loan officer, a title rep, anybody that services your business that your client will come into contact with at some point through the process. Great way not only to get exposure for them, but they're also a representation or an extension of your team. And so, interviewing them, talking about maybe someone's been renting for a while. What are 3 things that someone can do to find out if they even qualify and how they go about that? The cool thing about interviewing somebody is that they're going to want to share that video with their friends and family as well. And so that's only going to help you expedite and get more exposure for you as an agent. So, and I know for some folks, they get deer in the headlights and they don't want to talk on camera by themselves. Having a natural conversation with somebody else in the room and then just letting the camera capture it is an awesome way to get past your apprehension of being on camera, because there's safety numbers, and so if we're doing it together, it'll come across really nice. Do 3, 5, 7 tips to avoid something, or best times to do something. Tips on what to avoid, buying a home during the summertime or wintertime, even if that's a thing for some people. 3 tips to finding a home in Northern Arizona if someone's looking to buy a retirement home. Whatever those tips and tricks are that are going to help you create value for your client. As I mentioned, refer back to your frequently asked questions and pick your 3 most common questions that you get. There's your next 3 videos right there, or 1 a month. There's your next 3 months, and then work your way down from there. Remember, you've already done this. You've already been in the process. You've worked with someone, and so there's any number of elements that you can take from your past experience and then paraphrase that and replay that out on a video, and then let us know what was it you offered as advice, or how did you navigate that area of the contract, writing a contract or an offer letter. Like, what goes into that? Let's see some behind the scenes stuff. Monthly home improvement. Get with a contractor and find out what's one thing that you can do each and every month or once a year that will increase the value of your home. Maybe there's some things to look out for that your average homeowner may not know, but you get a contractor on camera, and then they can get some exposure from it as well, and then share that with their friends and family. You're providing high value content for home improvement. That could be a great video series for your past clients. You can still provide value for them after the sale. Now, you stay top of mind with them, and as a homeowner now, what are the things that I can do to increase the value of my property? Get with a landscaper. Find out what can I do to add some beauty to the backyard. We're hopefully going to be cooling down in the next month or 2, so we're all going to venture back outside again and see that backyard that we've neglected. I know personally, I look out the window and it's 110 out, and I'm like, I'll get to them next week. Pick out a monthly influencer video. Find somebody in your community, principal, small business owner. If there is a restaurant that's only doing curbside pickup right now, nightlife. There's a number of things happening in our community in regards to all this COVID crap. So, we're all just going to hunker down and waiting this out. Hopefully things will get past us. And for the most part, we're just keeping an eye of what's happening in our community. And so as a real estate agent, this is an awesome opportunity for you to be a connector. Reach out, connect with those small businesses, mom and pop shops. You know, I'm always been local first. I love supporting local community, nonprofits, food banks, restaurants, you know, whatever I can do to help keep us going and keep us moving forward. Well, as a real estate agent, this is an awesome opportunity for you to use the power of video. And if you want to, get them on a Zoom call and record your Zoom conversation with them. You know, hey, XYZ Pizzeria, what are you guys doing right now? Are you doing curbside pickup? If someone lives within 5 miles, you're doing free delivery. You know, be that person who gets the word out for the business owner. Great way to establish a relationship, not only with them, but then create high value content for the community. And they'll start to remember you as somebody who is in the know. You are the neighborhood mayor, and video will help you convey that. Monthly market stats, what's happened in the neighborhood? There have been an increase or a decrease in home valuations for that zip code, my neighborhood specifically. What is happening in the way of sales? What was the highest sale price this past month? What was the lowest? And then find within there some trends that you can share. Again, establishing yourself as a trusted agent who is well aware of what's happening and sharing that information with the community. Some other cool reasons to shoot video, a number of cool reasons. Testimonials is a huge one. If you know, I remember when I was in sales and I would get off an awesome sales call and I'd feel so good about myself. And my general manager would say, the best thing you can do when you get off a great sale and you feel that good about yourself is to pick the phone back up and do it again. Because now you've got so much, you know, belief in yourself and proof, and you feel fantastic. You know, resist the urge to run around and high five everybody. Pick the phone back up, do it again. You know, let that enthusiasm convey on the next call. And so testimonials is a fantastic thing to use as motivation. If you get off a call with somebody and you feel great about the way you answered it and they are very appreciative of it, grab the camera, grab the smartphone, turn the video on, and tell us what just happened. Like, hey, this is what happened. This was their problem. This is how we overcame it, and share that video with them. So we got a comment here. We do a lot of video walkthroughs, but it seems as though the video quality diminishes once we post them on YouTube. What settings would you recommend? So yeah, so you know, this is one of the challenges that a lot of folks. Great question, by the way, Diana. We have a lot of challenges when it comes to social media. Facebook naturally, whether it's an image or a video, their system automatically downgrades the quality of the video for bandwidth issues, for storage issues, and it really is a bit frustrating. I would, when we get offline, I'm gonna figure that one out, and I will email you on that one, because I hear there's a lot of different things you can do, whether it's in the settings on YouTube. I know that when it uploads as a standard in a standard format, and there may be a setting that you have to check to say, I want this to appear in high definition. Often too, what happens for the audience is they may have some preset settings on their YouTube channel or on their app that tell the app, don't play high quality, always play what's within my bandwidth. So if I'm using cellular, so I'm using data minutes or data time, it may only play standard. Much like if you're a Netflix subscriber, they have tiered packages. So video will only play standard when on cellular data. It'll only play HD when on a Wi-Fi. So there's a number of different settings, and sometimes it's not. You can't really have a lot of control when it comes to the actual content creator. It could also be a degradation that's on the side of the audience as well. And so I know there's a little toggle wheel there in the corner when you watch video, and you can choose play at 240, 480, 720, and so on. So let me look more into that for you, and I'll hopefully get the answer for you. Filmic Pro app, you have more control over your iPhone. Yes, Filmic Pro is actually a pretty cool app, Paul. Thank you for sharing that. Filmic Pro, it's Filmic. Filmic is, you download that app, and you have some additional settings that you can go in there and crank on those as well and get the best quality. I have my camera on my smartphone. My iPhone. I recently just got the iPro 11. Super awesome camera. The 3 lenses. One of them's Ultra HD or ultra wide. I don't know how I got through life with having a terrible camera compared to this thing. But that's the great thing about technology is they're always there to remind us each and every year that this is now the camera you need to have. This is why you're going to spend $1,000. But the settings, I went into the settings on my cell phone through the camera and I'm shooting at 4K at 60 frames a second. So super high res, super crisp. If you're somebody who likes a little bit more of a film, a cinematic feel, then I would go down and reduce your your frame rate to about 24, maybe 30 frames per second. So play with the frame rate because that will give you a different feel and a different quality on the camera. Some will feel cinematic, some will feel like a commercial, some will feel like reality TV. It really all just depends on what you want to put out there when it comes to shooting video. Other great reasons to shoot video, neighborhood tours, listing videos, like I mentioned, nonprofits, awesome opportunity to connect with the community, find out which community food bank is servicing your area, get with them, do a little outreach piece. There's senior citizens who live in the area who may have a hard time, getting out to get groceries. Be the connector, be that in the know agent where maybe you can provide resources and then you can champion that. It's a very subtle brag, but like, this is what we're doing. Who would like to get involved? Ultimately, the goal for you with using video is to be more than an agent. Like, we get it. You've got a new listing, you just closed, just sold. Like, we want to see those moments, like capture those moments. They're holding the just sold sign, standing out front, first time home buyers. That's a feel good. We all see that. We love that. But go beyond that. You can use video to convey that. What more can you do to showcase the neighborhood and why someone would want to live there? And they see that you as an agent are putting that awesome content out there. And I may not have a need right now, but 6 months or a year, you've been consistent, even though I'm not looking to buy. I do want to watch the video about 3 best patio restaurants in the area that have awesome patios. And as someone who lives in the neighborhood, I love to watch videos like that. And then when I have a need, I'm like, you know what? Keith always puts out awesome videos about our neighborhood. And my brother or someone wants to move in, and I'm going to think of you. I'm like, you know what? Here, call this guy. He knows our neighborhood. He always has these great videos, and the goal is to be top of mind. The goal is to be memorable for when they do have a need. They're going to think of you. And then, of course, dispelling myths about the home buying and selling process is a big one. Live video. I mentioned it a little bit earlier ago. Live video, huge attention grabber. Live video, people see you go live. They want to learn more. They see that you're putting out something. You're doing maybe you do a teaser post ahead of time. And, I'm going to be doing live video about a new Starbucks that's opening, and you've already called ahead, spoke to the general manager. Maybe you're going to do a coupon or a gift card or something for people who watch, share some information. You could do a teaser and then go live. But it's an awesome way for you to encourage engagement and feedback with your audience because you're live. You can actually say to them, hey, are you anyone looking to move in the next 6 months? How long you've lived in the area? Does anybody have any friends and family out of state? Where are they from? What's the weather like right now? Ha, ha, ha. It's hot as can be here, but the other 6 months of the year, it's beautiful. We're certainly a barbecue and sun tanning state. And so have fun with it. Engage with your audience when you're in a live session. Ask them questions and have them respond in the chat log. Facebook has already told us that number one, live video is the most important thing for them right now. It's the most recognizable content on social media. When they push out live video or you go live, they're going to reward you and push that notification out to all your followers. And it's a great way for you to get more eyes on your listing. When it comes to live, very minimal investment for buyers. They can jump on and see, a sneak peek teaser of a home and then reach out to you for more information. And especially now with social distancing, I know a lot of agents who are using live video to do open tours, open homes, whether from the home itself or from their computer, and they're showcasing videos or slideshows. But the cool thing about live video is once you're done, that live video is then saved on your Facebook page. Others can come and access it. But when your live video is saved on your Facebook page or in your Facebook archive, you can go back into that video and see what engagements took place. Who liked the video? Who loved the video? Who shared it? who responded in the comments, and go through those metrics, that insights, and create a conversation with those people. If 5 people liked your video during the video, you can click on like and see who those people were, and then you can already, if you're not already friends with them, you can friend request them, jump into their messages, direct message them, and thank them. Hey, I noticed you jumped on for a few seconds, for a minute. Noticed that you loved it. Thank you so much for taking the moment out of your time to watch the video. Was there anything particular in there that you had any questions about? Or I noticed you responded that you recently moved here. Where did you move from? And then start the conversation. Take advantage of those analytics and use that in your cold calling or your cold emailing, and add those people into your database and start to grow your CRM for sure. Facebook's going to give you all those leads, and if someone's like, "Hey, that's a beautiful neighborhood. Where is that at?" Be sure to jump in there and respond to them and engage them in a conversation, and take them offline, and then move them through the process like you would anybody else who is on or in your pipeline. And of course, most importantly, you're building your brand and your social presence online. So as I mentioned, there was 2 kinds of open houses. I'm gonna fly through this for you guys here. I certainly appreciate you sticking with me, and I also love all the engagement. Number 1, a walk-through open house. Now, this is you actually in the home. You've got your smartphone out, you've got your tripod, your lavalier mic, whatever whatever gear you have, you're all set. And if you're not familiar with doing this, I recommend once you have gear, or as you add gear into your tool belt, practice with it. Practice at your home. Pretend your home is an open house. Walk through your home. Talk about the features. Show the basics. Engage people in questions. When it comes to an open house, hit the highlights, show the basics, but don't give up too much information, because you still ultimately want them to reach out and be like, "Hey, I really want to see that house in person." So create an inviting atmosphere in the home as you walk through. Take your online audience through the home, showcase those features, the spaces, the backsplash. If there's certainly been anything that's been remodeled since the original build, showcase that as well. But talk to your audience members, engage them by name. If someone jumps on like, "Hey, Keith, thanks for joining. Hey, check that. We're going to be in the backyard in a minute. You guys are not going to believe this amazing pool. Hey, what's going on, Stacy? How you been? Thanks for joining us. How's the kids? Or engage people in conversation, because remember, you're live. You wouldn't have people attend your open house and just stand there and not say anything to them. Ask them questions. Ask them to like, love, and comment. If you know someone who would love to see this home in the North Valley or down in Gilbert, share this video after we're done, and let me know if they would love to see it. The other kind of open house you can do, and this one's a fun one too, is from your own home, from on your own device. Before you decide to go live, you can go onto your computer, laptop, PC, whatever, and create a folder for your listing. Any photos you have, any before and after photos, any videos. Maybe you've created a slideshow of the home itself. And now you can go live from your desktop, from your laptop, from your PC. You can go on to facebook.com, get into the live broadcaster section. And once you go live, you can share your screen. You can share your device. And you can open up your slideshow, open up your photos, and go live. You'll have a little picture of you in the corner. And you can take people through a live open house tour of the home, but from the comfort of your own home. So maybe you can't get in the home, or they don't want anybody in there, or you're just not you don't have access to the actual home itself. You can go live and do an open home tour through the use of your computer by simply sharing your screen. So again, talk about certain features of the home, bring up those images, and then if you want to, you get real savvy. There are some third-party tools, software out there for you, like Be Live. And of course, if you are in a Zoom call, or maybe you decide to use Zoom as your open house tour, there is a toggle feature in Zoom that will allow you to then broadcast your Zoom on your Facebook Live. It's a trip. It really is. It's cool. So I can take my Zoom call and go live on Facebook, and then again help stir some interest in the home and get yourself some additional exposure through the use of the tech. So it's really cool. Cannot go wrong when it comes to that. I actually do a specific Facebook open house live webinar. I get more into nuances in the tech. I got some screenshots. That is coming down the pipe. It probably will be in the first week of September. But like all my classes, you can always visit and go to westusacalendar.com. So westusacalendar.com will have not only my classes, but all of our webinars here at West USA. I know I ran through a lot here quick in this first hour. I will have the recording up on our closed groups and on our main Facebook page, westusa.com. Not westusa.com, but westusa through Facebook. And you can always catch the recording and go through this for your viewing. If you're on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, or email me, I would love to connect with you. Of course, I'll follow you back. Love to watch what you guys are doing. And of course, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, email me. Love to help out. I'm always open to jump on a phone call with anybody, answer your specific questions, and help you guys be successful in what you do. Thank you so much for your time. As always, be kind, be safe, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one.